So hello everyone, thank you for having me. Have you ever imagined how long it takes to get to the Everest summit? A prepared climb takes about 40 days to get the summit. First of all, I would like to show you how the Everest Mountain was formed. India's strong collision with Asia formed the mountain range of Himalayas. Here in China's southwest you can see the highest mountains of the world, including the Everest Mountain. Over 8,800 meters of altitude, Everest still grows, about 20 millimeters every year. This was a very peculiar formation. At the top of Everest, there is presence of marine fossils. The top of the world has been in the ocean floor in the past, before this collision. Everest was recognized as the highest mountain of the world almost 200 years ago. Just after 7 years, the first expedition to the summit occurred. This expedition failed. 7 people died in this expedition. Just after 30 years, the first expedition to the summit has success. 2 people got the summit in this expedition. After this successful expedition to the summit, over 80,000 people got the summit, and almost 300 people died. The cost to an expedition to the summit is between $40,000 and $130,000. A curiosity here, when CPQD company launched its new brand, it was sponsored of a climb to ascend the Everest and put its flag at the top. This climber tried to do that 3 times and he couldn't get the summit and put its flag. There are about 20 climbing routes identified to the summit. No route is safe. If you want to ascend the Everest, just pick your poison. During this journey, you will struggle against bad weather conditions. The temperature can drop down as low as 60 degrees negative. Jet stream over 200 kilometers per hour. Possibility of avalanches. In 2014, an avalanche killed 16 people at the base camp. Possibility of frostbite body parts. This is a shepherd guide. He has lost all his fingers trying to help his customer. There are points where the climb is very hard and technical. It is necessary to cross crevasses like that. This crevasses is very deep. If you fall here, you die. Possibility of falls, lack of oxygen, altitude sickness, edema pulmonary for example, and probably the most unexpected struggle is passed to side-by-side bodies. This is David Brashears. He has conquered the summit 5 times. He said nothing in his training prepared him to cross to an open graveyard waiting for him above. From 8,500 meters of altitude, death zone starts. In this altitude, the oxygen is 33% compared to the sea level. In this altitude, our body is impossible to acclimate. You literally start to die slowly from this altitude. From this altitude, you run against the clock to go back. A helicopter is unable to fly in this altitude. The air is very thin. There aren't air sufficient to pull a helicopter up. Rescue in this altitude is very risky. This is Swang Paljor. He died in this place 23 years ago, and his body stays there from now. If you ascend the Everest by south roads, you need to pass side by side him. For many, this is just a landmark in the climb, the landmark of 8,500 meters of altitude, where the death zone starts. If you die from here, you will stay there forever. In this infographic, you can see the deaths over the year by altitude. In this point, you can see Swang Paljor. This is David Sharper. David Sharp. He died there exactly 10 years after Green Boats. Exactly beside Green Boats. This was probably the most controversial death at the Everest, because in this day, over 30 climbers passed side by side him, and everyone knows he stopped there to die, and no one stopped to help. So that's all. If you have any question, I will be glad to answer. Would you like ascend the Everest?
No.